All right, so it is May 27th, just coming in after a long holiday weekend here in the U.S. Uh, Diego, I don't even know if you're watching this anymore, so whoever is watching, which I don't think anybody is, so I'm just basically doing this for myself. But uh, then in some way, I guess it's your loss, as last week I did mention high beta is the place to get back into. Uh, if you see the S&P, if you're paying attention in any respect, we broke out to new highs. Really today here, this is definitely, we kind of broke it end of Thursday, Friday, and last week. Broke this little wedge pattern here. Had a few false breakouts along the way the last couple months. At some point, these false breakouts, you can only have so many false breakouts, so you actually have the real one. So these false breakouts, what they do is they get in, like this, for instance, we broke out to the upside here in mid-May, the 13th. That was the last false breakout to the upside. They slammed it down, so anybody who bought up in here got punished severely. We actually, I know a lot of people got short in here. This was an MXRS bearish signal, so I believe I was short a couple stocks, nothing much. Though I covered pretty quick. As you know, I'm not a real long-term holder for the most part. But these false breakouts serve a purpose. The market's not easy, and the supply and demand cycles, the way they work is, a sustained move is basically supported by people who are underinvested, or especially on the upside, or they're underinvested or short, and they need to buy stocks to cover their shorts or get back in the market. So that's what sustains these up moves. And so when everybody's up in here and probably too many people are long, not enough people are short, the market has nobody left to buy. It comes back into the range. Finally, we have a move. Actually, on Friday had a little bit of a bearish, believe it or not, in the NASDAQ. And that was basically due to this VIX, which has been a little bit lower than I would like it to be. And I got this getting down to this range here now. So I came in today thinking, okay, I'm pretty heavily long high beta. I'm a little nervous here. Let me start covering some of my positions, or looking to cover some of my positions. I'm not just going to blindly sell on the open. I'm going to see what the market action does, and then put my orders in accordingly. So I figured the market can do one or two things. All right, ideal situation, it's going to open and keep going, even though the VIX is down here. That tells me that the demand is there. People got to cover their shorts. It becomes a short squeeze, which is fine. I don't care how the market goes higher if I'm long, as long as it goes higher. So let's go to the action, the stocks that I have been involved with over last week. So to review last week, got long a lot of high beta, like I already said. I started buying on Monday of last week. Actually, the first stock I really bought was Netflix. I bought it. He actually bought it on Monday. If you remember, last week we came in negative. The market was down on the open, and I was looking at Netflix from the beginning. I had a MXRS set up to the buy side right in here on the 16th, the 19th. So the 16th was a Friday before. This was Monday, so I had a bullish sign in the NASDAQ. So I said, hey, let me get these are the opportunities I'm looking for. I actually had a bunch of setups, which again makes me think, hey, this is great, because not only do I have MXRS set up, we had a market extreme to the downside. I actually have some stocks that have buy setups. So Netflix was really screamed out to me. I've been playing Netflix for this bounce. I actually bought it on this day, sold it somewhere into here. I believe I bought it on when it broke above here, sold it in here. So I was, I've been playing it, I've been watching it, and that down move we had the prior week, it held up like a champ. Relative strength, as you can see here, this is relative strength. It had relative strength. which is basically the MXRS, right? Market extreme, and then we're looking for relative strength. Perfect setup for it. I actually bought it. The level to buy was 354. I actually bought it at 350, which was the close of prior Friday, and it was just what I kind of cheated lower because it was a red to green trade, meaning if the usually when we open lower and you're looking at a stock that has been relatively strong, if you buy it once it goes green and once it breaks above this prior day's high, it's usually a good risk reward buy. In this case, it definitely was. So I actually bought some above 350 and I actually bought some more above 354, which is this level right here. Immediately rewarded. Those are the trades we really want, right? The no pain trade, and just it's boom, 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 boom. I actually sold it a good position, 360, I don't know, somewhere in this, I believe it was on this day, around the high 360s, 360 something. And if we look at the actual intraday, this is the intraday, setup I had. I actually bought it on a daily, and then I bought it also intraday. As you can see, kept you long. Actually sold out here at 367 and 365. But it got real long, so I bought it back 366 and change. Of course, it didn't really leverage me to the point that I was actually long quite a bit, and then only bought a bit back. I kind of fixed that. It was an issue with my code. I had fixed that, though I did have a longer term position as well, so that wasn't affected. But the nice thing about it is it rode the almost the entire trend here. Sold some on this day, just the pyramid, and held the rest of the position all the way till this morning when it broke below 400. Right now it's trading right there. So that was the big win of the week. I can go on. There were some whipsaws last week, so just let me caveat these big wins. There have been some trades last week that weren't all the greatest. Here was one that ACT, I actually bought it above this level, got whipsawed a little bit, got out of it, but then I bought it back when it broke above here. So, for every Netflix, you do have, usually 2 or 3 trades that don't work out as well. But that's why, it's important to cut your losses quickly and again, let your winners run. Money management is definitely the name of the game in this situation. I'm still long some of this. When it broke above here, this was a biotech. I was long this stock for actually quite a few. I think I bought this one back in here, kind of withstood this drawdown. But then sold it today at like 160, which is trading right now. I mean, right, excuse me. If you're looking to, this still has some room to run. Again, I'm just want to capture some gains here. Although I still think this is a very good pattern, potential for continuation. So let's run down the high beta line. Google. Bought that as well. Look at that. This is unreal. So had a little bit of a setup here. Kind of did a false breakout. I think, yep, I did buy it on this day. Got a little whipsaw. Held some of it. Took a bit of pain, which I really didn't want to. But there was, I launched on a mission that day, so I wasn't really paying attention to the market. I was flying for 12 hours. Came back. I was still long 100 shares. Luckily, I in a way, kind of helped me. So I managed the trade the next day. I said, all right, you know what? I'm gonna sell it, any pain, I'm gonna sell it. And fortunately, it gapped up. And then when I showed that strength, again, relative strength in here, I actually bought a bunch more. And then it's gone off the races. I still have a pretty good amount of Google at this point. I sold like a tinsy bit of it somewhere in here. On Friday, I think actually down in here when it gapped up, I sold it somewhere in here, but I still have the majority position in Google. Baidu I bought, this one no whipsaw as well. So it wasn't an easy trade for some of these, but once they got going, like on this day right here, then it was relatively easier, right? So I still am holding some Baidu. I sold a little bit this morning, right about here, 168 level. Let's see. Apple, unfortunately, it kicked my ass. I mean, last week it just, had a nice little, hey, we're going to new highs. This is exactly we got